Bitcoin was supposed to be the future of money, a system free from governments, banks, and corruption, a digital currency that gave power back to the people. But what if I told you that the dream nearly died overnight, and that more than 20 billion worth of Bitcoin today is still missing? A mystery so deep that nearly a decade later, no one knows the full truth. In its early days, the dream was alive. Tech pioneers, libertarians, and visionaries poured their hopes into Bitcoin. But in 2014, the dream nearly collapsed. The largest Bitcoin exchange in the world, Mt. Gox, based in Tokyo, Japan, suddenly went offline. Hundreds of thousands of Bitcoins vanished, worth more than $450 million at the time. The exchange was bankrupt, investors were ruined, and trust in Bitcoin was shattered. But here's the shocking part: even now, much of that money has never been recovered, and the question remains, who stole it? Today on Viral Facts, we dive deep into the story of the Mt. Gox collapse, the billion-dollar mystery of the missing Bitcoins, and the hackers who pulled off one of the greatest heists in digital history. The story of Mt. Gox begins in 2010. The name itself was unusual. It originally stood for Magic: The Gathering Online Exchange. The founder, Jed McCaleb, had built it as a trading platform for a fantasy card game, but he soon turned it into a marketplace for Bitcoin. What started as a nerdy side project would soon control 70% of the world's Bitcoin. At that time, Bitcoin was still new and unknown, but Mt. Gox became the first major exchange where people could trade Bitcoin for real money. As Bitcoin grew, so did Mt. Gox. By 2013, the exchange was handling more than 70% of all global Bitcoin transactions. If you wanted to buy or sell Bitcoin, you probably used Mt. Gox. It was the beating heart of the crypto revolution. But behind the scenes, cracks were already forming. Security at Mt. Gox was weak. Reports later revealed that hackers had been stealing coins from the exchange for years, slowly siphoning them away. Imagine this: billions of dollars vanishing bit by bit, and no one even noticing. Instead of discovering the theft, Mt. Gox kept operating, unaware that its reserves were disappearing. By the time the crisis exploded in 2014, hackers had already taken more than 650,000 Bitcoins. The collapse came suddenly. In February 2014, Mt. Gox halted withdrawals, blaming technical issues. Soon after, the website vanished, and when the truth finally came out, it shocked the entire world. More than 850,000 Bitcoins were missing. At the time, they were worth around $450 million. Today, their value would be in the tens of billions. The fallout was immediate. Investors lost their life savings. The price of Bitcoin crashed. Governments and regulators, who had already been suspicious of cryptocurrency, saw this as proof that Bitcoin was unsafe. But the biggest question remained: who stole the coins? Investigators began tracing the missing Bitcoins across the blockchain. Unlike cash, Bitcoin leaves a trail, but tracing stolen coins is like chasing shadows. Hackers use mixers, fake addresses, and hidden wallets to disguise their tracks. Still, analysts noticed something strange. Many of the stolen Bitcoins ended up in wallets linked to exchanges and accounts with suspicious connections. Over time, the investigation pointed toward Alexander Vinnik, a Russian national accused of running the exchange BTC. Authorities claim BTC had laundered much of the stolen Mt. Gox Bitcoin. In 2017, Vinnik was arrested in Greece and accused of laundering billions in cryptocurrency. But here's the twist: even with his arrest, the coins were still missing. Was he the mastermind or just a pawn in a much bigger game? Adding to the mystery was the role of Mark Karpeles, the CEO of Mt. Gox. When the exchange collapsed, many blamed him directly. Japanese authorities charged him with embezzlement and fraud. He was accused of manipulating Mt. Gox's books and mismanaging the company. In 2019, he was found guilty of falsifying records, though not directly guilty of stealing the Bitcoins. Was he just careless, or was he secretly involved in the heist? His trial revealed shocking details of negligence. Mt. Gox was operating without proper security, without audits, and with little oversight. In many ways, it was a disaster waiting to happen. But negligence is not the same as theft. While Karpeles may have been incompetent, many still believe outside hackers were the ones who pulled off the actual heist. The scale of the theft was unprecedented. 650,000 Bitcoins stolen, disappearing into hidden wallets. At today's prices, that would be worth more than $20 billion. But how do you even hide that much money in plain sight? Theories suggest hackers exploited Mt. Gox's poor security system, finding ways to withdraw coins without proper authorization. Some believe insiders may have helped. Others think a long-term infiltration allowed hackers to drain coins over years without detection. Even today, no one knows for sure. The Mt. Gox collapse also exposed the dark side of Bitcoin. While it promised freedom, it also enabled crime. Hackers could steal millions without ever stepping into a bank. Criminals could move money across borders instantly. To governments, Mt. Gox was the smoking gun to prove that crypto was dangerous. To Bitcoin believers, it was a nightmare betrayal. But the mystery deepened in 2020 when the United States government announced it had seized more than 69,000 Bitcoins connected to the Mt. Gox theft. The coins had been controlled by a mysterious figure known only as Individual X. For years, these Bitcoins sat untouched. Then suddenly, they were surrendered. Who is Individual X? A hacker? A whistleblower? Or something even darker? No one knows for sure. The secrecy only adds to the legend of the Mt. Gox hack. To this day, many victims of Mt. Gox are still waiting for justice. Bankruptcy proceedings in Japan have dragged on for years. Some investors may receive partial compensation, but most will never recover their full losses. For many, Mt. Gox represents not just financial ruin, but betrayal. They believed in the dream of Bitcoin, and they paid the price for someone else's greed. The Mt. Gox collapse is more than just a story of theft. It is a turning point in the history of cryptocurrency. It showed the world that digital money is not immune to crime. It exposed how fragile early exchanges were, and it raised questions that remain unanswered even now. Who were the hackers? How much of the missing Bitcoin has been recovered? And why, after nearly a decade, do we still not know the full truth? Some analysts believe the mystery may never be solved. Hackers who control billions in stolen Bitcoin have every reason to stay hidden. Even if they cannot spend the coins openly, simply holding them gives them power. The blockchain is full of ghost wallets, untouchable fortunes that may never see the light of day. Individual X is just one example. There may be others we do not even know about. Let us pause here and think about something important. The Mt. Gox hack was not only about money, it was about trust. Because when trust is stolen, can any system truly survive? When the exchange fell, confidence in Bitcoin nearly collapsed with it. But in the years since Bitcoin has recovered, new exchanges have risen stronger and more secure. The dream of digital money survived, but the scars remain, and the mystery of Mt. Gox continues to haunt the crypto world. The greatest danger of Mt. Gox wasn't just the billions lost, it was the blueprint it left behind. The collapse of Mt. Gox didn't just destroy one exchange. It sent a signal to hackers worldwide: cryptocurrency systems could be broken. In the years after 2014, other exchanges became victims of similar attacks. Coincheck in Japan lost over 500 million in digital tokens. Bitfinex in Hong Kong was drained of 72 million worth of Bitcoin. Even today, billions are stolen each year from crypto exchanges, DeFi platforms, and wallets. Many of these hacks follow the same pattern exposed by Mt. Gox, exploiting weak security, poor management, and the lack of regulation. In a sense, Mt. Gox wasn't only a heist. It was the beginning of a dark playbook that others would follow, proving that in the crypto world, history doesn't just repeat, it multiplies. The lesson is clear: technology may change, but human greed never does. Whether it is banks, governments, or crypto exchanges, wherever there is money, there will be theft. Bitcoin promised freedom, but freedom without responsibility is dangerous. The Mt. Gox collapse is a reminder that the future of money depends not only on technology, but on trust, transparency, and security. But maybe the real question is not who stole the Bitcoin, but who truly profited from its disappearance. Because in every great financial crime, there are always shadows behind the spotlight. Some point to intelligence agencies quietly tracking the funds. Others whisper that governments may have let the heist play out to justify tighter control over crypto. And then there are theories that rival exchanges, investors, or even insiders used the chaos to reshape the market in their favor. While ordinary people lost life savings, others gained power, influence, and fortunes from the collapse. That is the deepest mystery of Mt. Gox: not only how the coins vanished, but why the truth remains hidden even now. So, who were the Bitcoin hackers behind the Mt. Gox collapse? We may never know, but their heist changed history forever. It turned Bitcoin from a utopian dream into a global controversy. It forced the crypto community to face reality in the digital world. No one is safe. The $450 million that vanished in 2014 was not just stolen money, it was stolen trust. And that is why, even now, the mystery of Mt. Gox remains one of the greatest unsolved crimes of the digital age.